9 a.m. Donald Trump is sitting in the Oval Office. Business as usual. Suddenly, the door burst open.
Mr. President, we're under attack. We need to get you to safety.
There are 3 secret emergency bunkers the President of the United States can take shelter in. Each one designed to survive a different threat level. Trump is rushed away. There's no time to lose. Let's break down each bunker by imagining 3 scenarios, each one with a different kind of attack. The first one is the lowest level threat. But imagine Trump being outside of the White House. He's far from DC, down in Florida, at his famous Mar-a-Lago resort, enjoying a round of golf at 9 a.m. On the outskirts of the residence, a group of masked men have jumped the fence. They're not armed and have no desire to hurt Trump. Instead, they're looking to steal some Trump memorabilia and make some money on the black market. The Secret Service can't take any chances though. They need to get Trump to a secure location to make sure he's safe. Luckily, Mar-a-Lago has 3 bomb shelters on the property already, ready for access. The nearest one right now is located right under the second hole on the golf course. When Trump's friends, members of Congress, and even world leaders come to hit a ball or 2 at the Mar-a-Lago, they are actually teeing off on the top of the bunker. The entrance to the shelter is hidden among some hedges, kept discreet enough that nobody who doesn't already know where it is could hope to find it. The Secret Service form a shield around Trump as they walk to the entrance quickly but without great hurry. They throw open the door of the shelter, which reveals a long tunnel stretching deep beneath the earth. The shelters themselves are built into Florida's coral reef shores and are securely locked in place, able to withstand any shock. As Trump himself spotted, those suckers are going nowhere. The Secret Service have what they need to set up a SCAF, a sensitive, compartmented information facility, where officials can communicate critical information without any risk of leaks. Personal cell phones, cameras, and any laptops are switched off and confiscated at the door. A small table is set up in the center of the bunker, with a screen at the far end to show Trump what's going on outside.
Just a few intruders. Please stay here until we get the all clear.
Trump nods. He knows the Mar-a-Lago bunkers well already. When it comes to setting up a SCIF, the Secret Service take no risks. Every wall is measured and fitted in a way that matches up with the guidelines, such as making sure none of the seams are lined, and so that the acoustic sealant can be filled in where the walls meet the slab, just to make sure no noise gets out. Fire-safe ground is used to plug up any holes or dents in the wall too, as well as radio frequency protection installations to protect the SCIF from electromagnetic interference. The same goes for the ceiling and floor. 3 doors are identified as the main entrance, side entrance, and emergency exit. Every single part of the SCIF, from top to bottom, is meticulously managed to guarantee top-level security. Before Trump became president, he mainly used them for storage. You might be wondering why a golf course has 3 military-grade bunkers built into the property. The answer goes back nearly 100 years. During the Korean War in 1950s, the founder and original owner of Mar-a-Lago had bomb shelters installed in the case of the nuclear attack. When Trump purchased the property in 1985, he left the bunkers untouched. Little did he know just how handy they would later become. The Mar-a-Lago bunkers aren't the only secure location nearby. Another underground shelter can be found on the Peanut Island, only a few miles away, built for the Kennedy family back in 1961. Back on Mar-a-Lago, Trump watches on the screen as the intruders are apprehended by the Secret Service. A quick sweep of the area confirms it's safe for the president to get back to his golfing. But this is just a few thieves, the lowest level threat. What happens when the threat is much more serious? What does Trump do in the case of the real attack? Trump is in the Oval Office, taking calls from the world leaders and signing executive orders. A group of Secret Service members rush in.
Sir, you need to come with us. We have reports that armed assassins are closing in on our location.
Nobody knows for sure who's behind the attack, It could be a terrorist group, even a splinter cell sent by a foreign enemy like Iran. All the Secret Service know is that they are armed and have orders to take out the President of the United States. The protocol is clear. Both the White House staff and the estate itself are ready to fight off the threat. Beneath the White House's East Wing lies a Presidential Emergency Operations Center, PEOC for short. There's no place more secure on the estate than in this bunker. Trump is guided quickly to the East Wing, down the stairs, and through a pair of huge steel doors. They close behind him with a hiss. Trump heads inside an elevator, which brings him far down into the depths of the earth. He's now in one of the tunnels stretching beneath the White House. Old tiles cover the floor, and exposed pipes hang overhead. The PEOC is located around 1,000 feet beneath the surface to shield it from the fiercest blasts. The inside of the bunker is better equipped than the ones at the Mar-a-Lago, but it's still just a necessities. There are a minimum of 3 rooms, one filled with plenty of food rations, water, medical supplies, and air filtration systems, enough to last a very long siege. A long table takes up the most of the other room, where Trump and his advisors receive the latest reports through TV screens and radios. Just like at Mar-a-Lago, a SCIF is set up to make sure all communication is secure. And in the third room, living quarters, basic sleeping arrangements, and fold-out beds. Tension is high. The threat here is much greater than at the Mar-a-Lago, and the Secret Service are on the edge. Luckily, there's a very little chance the attackers could even find the bunker, let alone find a way inside. Most of the specific information surrounding the bunker is highly classified, but we do know that the underground tunnels connect the bunker to both the South Lawn and the Treasury building. The White House bunker isn't used often. In 2001, Vice President Dick Cheney and the officials were rushed to safety during the September 11th terrorist attacks, when the threat of the hijacked plane hitting the White House was still very high. Trump, along with Melania and his son, hid in the bunker at the height of the George Floyd protests, when discontent in the Capitol was at its highest. The bunker's design, and most of its technology, dates back to the 40s. President Roosevelt had the bunker made in the wake of the Japanese surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. The primary purpose is to defend against bombing raids, but the warfare has evolved over the last 80 years. The White House bunker is, by all accounts, fairly outdated. That's why it doesn't exist anymore. It might come as a shock to hear, but only last year, Trump had a White House bunker demolished as a part of the East Wing renovations. A fancy new bunker, equipped with the latest technology, will be fitted beneath the extravagant ballroom. Trump isn't the only president who toyed with the idea of improving the White House's defenses. Back in the 60s, advisors put forward the plan to build a deep underground command center, known as DUCC, a series of underground tunnel networks fitted with a top-class tech that offered total safety and kept the president up to date with everything going on above the surface. But the plan was dropped. DUCC was never built. At least, that's what we've been told. Whether DUCC or any other deeper level of protection exists on the White House grounds, the president's last resort shelter, by far the most extensive and secure of the 3, isn't in DC. This one is used only in the most dire, world-ending emergencies. 11 a.m., Trump is in the Oval Office, same as before, but this time, the mood is very different. People are rushing all over the White House in a panic. Advisors are shouting in his ear. Every minute that passes, the phone rings. Another world leader is on the other end. Something has gone terribly wrong. The world is on the brink of a nuclear Armageddon. 2 nuclear powers are about to go to war. Maybe Trump started it. Either way, there's a good reason to believe that someone is about to strike the first blow. The door to the Oval Office swings open. It's not an aide or a Secret Service member who rushed in this time. It's a general of the army, one of the highest-ranked military officials.
Mr. President, a nuclear strike is imminent. Soon, nowhere above ground will be safe. We must get you to a safe location.
Not another word is spoken. Trump, the top heads of the government, and the highest military officials all march down to the White House lawn. Marine One and other helicopters are waiting for them, ready to take off. Trump climbs aboard. Marine One takes the president directly out of the DC to the very southmost point of Pennsylvania. Nestled among the pine trees is a remote station with a AT&T microwave tower and radio station. This is the Raven Rock Mountain, known simply as the Rock. Above the ground, it doesn't look like much, but what's beneath might as well be an underground Pentagon. This is no mere bunker or shelter. It's an entire complex. Marine One lands. Trump and his team are ushered to the entrance. Two thick blast doors bar the way. These doors weigh 25 tons each and are built to withstand any attack. Biological, chemical, nuclear. It doesn't matter. Nothing is getting through. It takes 3 full-grown men to pull the doors open. The entrance leads to the tunnel carved into the mountain's rock, with the main complex nestled under 2,000 feet of the hard granite. The tunnel is tall and wide enough to fit a few cars side by side. The jeep pulls up by the president, who climbs in. The driver takes them down into the complex. In the unlikely event that the complex is compromised and immediate evacuation is needed, Raven Rock has an escape hatch, a tiny trapdoor that leads to the crawl space leading out of the facility. Again, things would be seriously dire if this exit was ever needed. Trump passes by the most important area in the bunker, the life support division. Here, all the Raven Rock's air filtration systems are managed. Fresh air is pumped into the industrial air intake and cooling towers, where it passes through a multi-stage cleansing system to strip it of any radiation, chemicals, and other harmful components. Compressors line the walls, all working to keep the complex air breathable. All of this is kept alive and running by 2 power plants, one on the east wing and other on the west. These plants are essential to powering the entire facility. There's no surviving a nuclear apocalypse without electricity. Rows upon rows of fuel-powered generators fill up the room. Above, engineers keep a close eye on them through a pane of glass and a series of controls at the fingertips. Sprinkles are fitted in every chamber in case of a fire, and a few boilers are fitted to keep the facility warm. A huge freshwater reservoir has been drilled into the rock, where all the complex's drinking water is kept and filtered for the later consumption. On the other side of the complex, Trump and his team find the bunk beds, showers, and even full-fitted cantina. Fake windows have been installed to give the impression of sunlight. Trump is led through to the Emergency Actions Operations Center. Here, he has access to all the information and tools that he would have at the Pentagon. Dozens of computers, each one manned by staff at the desk, make up the room. A huge screen showing the map of the world and all relevant information covers the back wall. To his horror, Trump sees that a number of major cities have been struck. Before Trump can even give his first order, the general informs him that the enemy nuclear ICBM is about to hit the United States. The bomb has a yield of over 200,000 kilotons, 10 times more powerful than the one dropped on Hiroshima. Yet, even if it hit the ground right above Raven Rock, they would barely feel a thing. Flexible connectors and springs have been fitted to all the pipes to withstand the force of a nuclear blast. The ground will rumble, but the thick walls and the infrastructure will keep the facility standing no matter what. The same can't be said for anything above the ground. A military aide rushes over to Trump's side with a briefcase in his hand, the nuclear football. He opens it up. Inside are the nuclear codes and procedures for a strike. It's up to Trump, now deep in the bowels of the earth, far away from civilization, to determine the fate of the world above.